Angry Guy here, and today we're discussing why are women in Iceland begging passport bros for sex? Why are women in Iceland begging passport bros for sex? Let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
So now can you break down, brother, how dates go in Iceland? Because you went out on dates there in Iceland, bro. How is the dynamic between man and woman in these dates? Who pays for these dates, and how does the date go? How do Icelandic women act like in dates? Break it down for us, bro.
So first things first, there's not really a dating culture in Iceland. I noticed this in Norway too. A lot of these Scandinavian countries, they don't necessarily have a dating culture. It's pretty much more of a hookup culture where if you match with someone on like a dating app like Tinder or like an app called Smitten, that a lot of these Scandinavians use, some of them, if they're really interested in meeting you, they won't even ask to meet at a restaurant. Some of them will just invite you straight to their house without even meeting you.
So you tell me, brother, right? It's sex first before going on dates in Iceland. What?
Absolutely. Yeah, don't try to ask a girl out to dinner that you just met. She's gonna look at you funny because this is not common to go out to dinner on a first date. If you want to get a coffee or a drink, that's acceptable as a first date. But a dinner date, no, for them that's way too formal. They're not looking for formal. They're looking for casual, chill, relax. You know, go to a nice bar, go to a nice lounge, nice coffee date. I know you love your coffee dates, IP, so you know, coffee date will work. And yeah, you just move accordingly. And then a lot of them, like, you don't even have to pay for them too. They will insist on paying. I noticed this in Norway too. A lot of these Scandinavians, because of course they believe everything's 50-50, right? So even when engaging with a stranger on like a first date, they will insist on paying for themselves. And they'll probably go back to your place on the same day too. You just gotta be smooth and just ask it, and just don't be a weirdo when you do it.
So obviously, we're going to keep it very PG here, but we broke it down more on the Patreon. But when it comes to these first dates, right, as a man, do you let her know, okay, we finished our drink, you tell her verbally, I want to come back to my place or your place to get down to business, let her know, let's smash, and that's it. Is that how it is, brother?
Yeah, pretty much. You don't have to mention smashing though. Maybe just say like, hey, you want to come back to my place, maybe like watch a movie? They'll get the idea. I mean, this is the way these women think. They're very liberal like that. You know, they think like, oh yeah, you know, I'm a 304, you know, it's fine. Like, I like being a 304, so it's okay. So yeah, they'll expect you to proposition that.
Wow, incredible. This is a different world out there, brothers. So
I mean, there you guys have it. There you have it. There you're seeing it for yourselves now. So this is a black man in Iceland, a passport bro. And this is what he's seeing. This is his experience over there. These men are going, like a guy like this, women wouldn't even talk to him in the United States. He's clearly fit, good-looking guy. But in the United States, women would not give him the time of day. Wouldn't give him the time of day. I've talked about this in other videos. And when you go to these countries, you are exotic. A lot of people don't understand the concept. When you go to a country where it's predominantly one group of people, right? For example, if you go to Thailand, you know, it's nothing special seeing a black guy in Thailand. Don't get me wrong. They'll get attention. You'll get attention in Thailand. And if you're a white guy, they love white guys in Thailand. But it's not something outside of the norm, because you know it's normal for them to see people of different ethnicities in Thailand. But you go to the Philippines and you stand out because that's not something they see every day. Okay? A white guy, a black guy in the Philippines, that's exotic. They don't see that every day. You go, and it's not just in these countries, for example, it's not just in Asian countries, it's also in white Eastern countries as well. You go to Iceland, they don't have a lot of black people in Iceland. All right. Now, here's the interesting thing, they love listening to that music. They're all listening to the music, they're all listening to hip hop and all of that stuff, but they don't have all these people. They don't have black people there, not that many. So you go over there to a place where everyone's white and you stand out. You are exotic to them. I remember there was a video. And I actually I published it. And there was a woman who was from, I think, I forget what country she was from, but she was from one of these countries like Iceland. I forget the country. And she basically said the same thing. She said that she was talking to a black guy that was interviewing her, and she said that, in her country, for example, there are no people like him. So when she sees someone like him, she's like, yes, man. This is what I'm talking about. In a Western society, women have an abundance of options. All right. And they have so many options that they can no longer choose anymore because they just keep monkey branching from one person to the next, and no person is good enough for them. But in societies where they don't have these things, they don't have this type of diversity, these types of options. All right. Women go crazy for men. This Western society, America, the UK, Canada, Australia, these are strange places. Once you leave these places, you will see how differently you are treated as a man and valued. It's crazy. I mean, just listen to this guy. Guys, I'm telling you, while there are good men going out and getting married, I'm telling you, a lot of guys are going to begin flying overseas for dates. They're not going to date in America anymore. And women in these countries are going to pick up on it. All right? They're going to see these men going overseas, and while they're dashing up this, trying to shame these men right now. Oh, you're this. These women are desperate and blah blah blah. They're desperate in Iceland. In Iceland, bro. They're poor in Iceland. Like, you have women in Iceland that are poor, desperate, can't speak English, ignorant, and undereducated. And that's why they're hooking up with these men. That's why they want these men. It's, guys, this is literally what's happening right now. And the country that I was thinking of was Ireland when I was talking earlier. The girl was from Ireland, and she said, we don't have people like you in Ireland. So when I see a guy like you, I go crazy. We go crazy. And she was like thirsting hard. And it's understandable. It's understandable. Western women don't deserve Western men. But the crazy thing is that the other women in other parts of the world, they want these men. The average woman today looks down upon a millionaire, a guy that's worth millions of dollars. He has a net worth of, his net worth is above $1 million. He's 6 feet tall. He works out, and he's reasonably young, maybe in his 30s, early 40s, and women will still look at him like he's nothing because they have so many options after they've hooked up with these athletes and these rappers and so forth. Their ego is so inflated, and then it continues to remain inflated because they have all these guys in their inbox constantly telling them they're gorgeous, they're beautiful, and buying them stuff, and they're living off this economy, this economy of simps, because there's such a thing as the simp economy. They ultimately end up believing that they're better than everyone else. Back in the 90s, guys, a woman was lucky if a guy even said hi to her. It's true. If you approached a girl and told her she was pretty, you just made her day. Women are begging for sex in countries like Iceland, in countries like Ireland, Romania, and others from passport bros because they don't have these men. You see, the men that are leaving Western society, especially countries like the United States and the UK, then Australia and Canada, these are the highest value men because they're coming from countries that have the highest GDPs. The highest GDPs. These are the men making the most money in the world. And women want that. They want that exoticness. People don't believe it. If you're a white guy and you go to the Philippines, you are exotic. Just like we look at a woman who comes from Brazil as exotic, they go to the Philippines. A white guy goes to the Philippines, they're viewed as exotic. They go to Thailand, they're viewed as exotic. What do you guys think regarding this? Why are women in Iceland begging passport bros for sex? I want to hear your thoughts. You know what I think, but now I want to hear what you think in the comments. So let's talk about it there. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.